In this video, we will take an example of using the relative position, and this is what we are going to build: an image with a nice looking caption. In this example, we will make use of the relative position, but in fact, when we learn about the absolute position, you will find it better and convenient for using it along with the relative position for creating UI components. And also, it will be better in using both in this example, but anyway, let's see how to use the relative position alone without the help of any other position values. Create a div as a wrapper for the two elements, the image and the caption, with a class wrapper. And for the image, create a div to be its container with a class image box, for example. And for the image, in image tag, import the image. I have it here in the folder of the HTML file, so I will import it by writing / and the name of the image. It didn't fit its container. The image is too big, but we will handle this by the CSS code. And for the text, create a container also with a class caption box, for example, and add the text in a paragraph tag. And let's style them all. Let's first give the body a margin of 0, and for the wrapper, let's give it a background color and width and height. And height of 400 pixels, for example. And for the width, let's leave the default value. And for the image, let's give its container image box a height. Image box height of 250 pixels, for example, and also a width of 250 pixels, the same as the height. And let's give the image a width and height. For the height, 100% of the height of its parent, and the width also, so that it take the width and the height of its parent, which is 250 pixels. And now let's give the container of the image a border of 10 pixels, solid, and a color of white. And for the caption box, caption, let's give it a background. You can give it any color, and let's give it a width because it has the full width of its container of the wrapper. Let's give it a width of 200 pixels and a height of 60 pixels, for example. And also for the text, let's style the paragraph tag. Let's give it a line height of 6 so that we can center it. You can change the value until the text moves to the center, and give it a padding 0 from top and bottom, and 4 from left and right, 4 or 6 or 8, and a margin of 0, so that it will remove the space between it and the caption box. But no element is positioned, so let's give the image box a position of relative, but it didn't move because we didn't set any offset value. So let's move it from top by 50 pixels, for example. As you can see, it moves from its original position from top by 50 pixels. And let's move it from left by 200 pixels. Now it moved from left by 200 pixels. And for the caption box, let's also add a position of relative. Also, let's give it offset. Also, let's give it an offset values let's move it from bottom by 40 pixels and from left by 80 pixels, for example. Now, as you can see, the effect of relative position, just moving the element from their original position by the given offset values. So the elements move relative to themselves. No one has control on the other ones. And to illustrate the idea more, let's give the rubber a position of relative. It didn't move. And also let's move it from top by 100 pixels, for example, to see the effect. So the rubber moves from its original position from top by 100 pixels, and as you can see, it moves without any problem, and it has no effect on its child depth. So this is important to know well before learning about the absolute position. Every element that is positioned as relative moves according or relative to itself.